Go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/online therapy to get 20% off your first month of cognitive behavioural therapy, with weekly sessions online with a therapist, in addition to worksheets, a journal, meditation and yoga videos, and unlimited messaging. There's strong evidence that CBT can help people who hoard, and accessing therapy online can be affordable and accessible. Find out more and get your discount at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/online therapy.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, how to get 30, how to get 20, 20, 20, how to get 20, 20, how to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Wow!
Nice.
Yeah!
What you're hearing are the sounds of people everywhere putting on Bombas socks, underwear, and T-shirts made from absurdly soft materials that feel like plush clouds. Yeah, that plush. And the best part? For every item you purchase, Bombas donates another to someone facing homelessness.
Bombas. Big comfort for everyone. Go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/ACAST. Code ACAST.
Hey there, it's Michelle Norris. I'm host of a podcast called Your Mama's Kitchen. When I travel, I'm usually looking for a way to find a taste of home when I'm not at home. And one of the things I love to do when I am at home is entertain. And Airbnb allows me to do that. When I was in California recently, I rented a house that had a great kitchen. And when we were sitting around the table, we're all thinking, we're in someone else's house. Someone could be in all of our homes as well. If you have a home, but you're not always at home, you have an Airbnb. Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host.
Welcome to the Overcome Compulsive Hoarding with That Hoarder podcast. I am drowning in stuff and trying to find a way out. Listen as I explore the issues and delve deep as somebody profoundly affected by hoarding disorder. Find out more, including links to subscribe to the podcast, at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk, and follow me on Twitter at That Hoarder and on Facebook at facebook.com/That Hoarder. So I have to start with a big apology. It's been ages since my last episode. I'm really sorry. I thought I'd take a week or two off. And then because I was out of the habit, I just didn't get back to it. But I'm back now. So thank you for waiting. I appreciate that. And thank you for the messages I've had being generally supportive and lovely about not just the podcast, but the whole project, the website, as well. It's brilliant. It helps because this is a tough thing to be going through, and it's a thing that's difficult to talk about publicly. So when I do talk about it, it makes me quite vulnerable. And so to receive support is really encouraging. So thank you. So today I want to talk about something that I keep seeing when I read things about hoarding disorder. And that is, I keep seeing that it has a 97% recidivism rate, which is to say that if you get your home tidied up, 97% of people who get the home tidied up will be hoarding again in the future. So you have 100 people who clean up their space and only 3 of them retain a clean space. Now, I don't know about you, but I have always found this massively discouraging. Like, what's the point in putting all this effort in to de-hoard when the statistics show that it's not even going to last? however determined I am, however much I try, this is how I'm always going to be. So why put the effort in now when it will be scuppered later? And so hearing that statistic everywhere has definitely been disheartening for me and put me off making progress at times. So I did a bit of searching and a bit of research around this statistic. And the most stark thing that I found is that I can't find any study that actually says this. I can't find anybody who conducted research into compulsive hoarders to get this statistic. So I don't know if it's a number that somebody just pulled out of their head one day and decided it was true or not. But if there is a scientific research article behind it that you know of, then send it to me, please, because I would like to see it. But so far, with a fair bit of searching, I haven't been able to find it. The second thing that I did find is that some references to this 97% recidivism rate say that it only applies if there has been a forced cleanup. So if your family comes in and just removes everything you own without your permission. Now that makes sense. That would screw anybody up. Well, any hoarder up at least. And it makes no surprise to me that that person would refill their space as soon as they could. Other references say that the 97% recidivism, it's really hard to say. Others say that the 97% recidivism rate is if somebody cleans up and dehoards, declutters when they have no psychological support. So that also changes the outlook a bit, because as I referenced in an earlier episode that you can go and listen to if you haven't already, I have been having CBT for my hoarding problem. And so I do have psychological support, and so maybe that means that the 97% rate doesn't necessarily apply to me, which is also encouraging because I need all the encouragement I can get throughout this bleeding difficult process. The other thing I wanted to say about this is that the use of the word recidivism is horrible in this context. The definition of recidivism, according to Oxford, is the tendency of a convicted criminal to reoffend. Now, I am not a convicted criminal, and cluttering my home is not offending. Maybe offensive, but it's not, I'm not a convicted criminal who is at risk of reoffending. I am a person with psychological problems who is at risk of relapse.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/spoken. That's linkedin.com/spoken. Terms and conditions apply.
Want flexibility? Take yoga. Want flexibility with your health insurance? Check out United Healthcare Insurance Plans. Underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, they offer flexible, budget-friendly medical, dental, and vision coverage that may be right for you. More at uh1.com.
I think even just changing the word to relapse would be a really good step, because this is a mental health problem. It's a very, very complex one, but that's where it lies. I know there's a lot of discussion about what kind of mental health problem and exactly how to define it, but this is clearly not something that mentally healthy people generally do. So the way I'm trying to look at the 97% relapse rate is that it may or may not be true in the first place, but that if it is true, it may apply to me less, because so far at least I haven't had a forced cleanup, and I have had some psychological support with the de-hoarding process I'm going through. So if it's true but only applies after forced cleanups, I may be okay. And if it's true and only applies if you have no psychological support, then I may also be okay. I need to stop this statistic that may or may not be made up from being a barrier that stops me from making my home livable in. And so that is my goal for the time being. I need to get that number out of my head and stop using it as a reason to not make progress. In just 1 second, I'll give you my top tip of the week. In the meantime, please do subscribe to the podcast, review it, 5 stars would be amazing, and share it with your friends or anyone who might be interested or who might benefit from it. It all really helps. To find out more ways to support the website, the podcast, and my overall de-hoarding project, go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/support. Now, back to your top tip. So, today's top tip is to unsubscribe from every marketing email you get in your inbox. There are 2 reasons for this. First of all, there's less clutter in your inbox. Now, I'm not massively concerned about digital clutter myself, but I do know that my inbox is an intimidating place, and so the less crap that's in there, the better. But the other reason is if you don't have an email from your favourite shop telling you what is on offer, there's less temptation to go and buy stuff that you don't need. So then less comes into the house and you're dealing with less of a problem. Now, I wouldn't recommend going in and trying to unsubscribe from everything in one go. I would recommend one of 2 things. Option 1 is every time you get one, unsubscribe there and then. So it's an ongoing process. The other is to just every day find 5 in your inbox and unsubscribe from them. And then tomorrow find another 5 and the day after find another 5. Until they're all gone, even your favourites, even your favourite shop, do it. Thank you for listening, and I will speak to you next time. Thank you for listening to the Overcome Compulsive Hoarding podcast. You can find more online at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk. You can find me on Twitter at @thathoarder and on Facebook at Overcome Compulsive Hoarding with That Hoarder. To find out more about how you can support this podcast and the overall project, go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/support and do subscribe to this podcast so you make sure you don't miss any future episodes.